Hey there, welcome back, and welcome to another pickups video. And today, before I get into my pickups though, I've got an announcement. And the announcement is that finally, after I mentioned it a bunch of times, my gameplay video channel has finally got some content on it. So I'm ready to announce it to you guys. So my new gameplay channel, I'll link it below and you can check it out. It's just basically me playing games and talking over it. Standard Let's Play material. Except we're going to be looking at some games that I would play, which are inevitably things that nobody else would play. So definitely check it out. But just for example, the first game we're playing on my new Let's Play channel, or gameplay channel, it's not really Let's Play because I'm not playing through an entire game, I'm just putting up gameplay. But what we got here, the first game is the Zombie Tai Kyukyusha, which is, of course in English, the zombies versus ambulance. So this game is as ridiculous as it sounds. You're an ambulance, you drive around town killing zombies and picking up survivors. That's the vast majority of the game. It's really simple yet fun gameplay. It's like Crazy Taxi had a baby with Dead Rising and somehow released it on the PS2. So here we go. The zombies versus ambulance. And it's the first video on my gameplay channel, linked below. So definitely check it out. Anyway, let's get into my pickups. First, we'll go into my pickups as I normally do from oldest to newest. So we're going to start with my oldest pickups, which are on the Super Famicom. So the first game we have is Fire Emblem. And this is Fire Emblem Monsho no Nazo, which is the Mysterious Crest in English. I'm translating this off the top of my head, so if I'm totally wrong and there's actually an English name, don't get mad at me. But yeah, this is, I believe, the first Fire Emblem game. I don't really know. I'm not like a huge Fire Emblem series fan, but I don't know. I like it enough to, I bought the game. So I'll play through this, and I know Majin Tensei, which is a game I really like, is similar in style. The battling is a little different, but otherwise it's pretty similar. So I know I'll enjoy it. So the first Fire Emblem, I believe the first Fire Emblem. And the next game, another Super Famicom game, and this time another RPG. And that RPG is Inindo. Now, some of you might have heard of this game. Inindo is an RPG made by Koei, and it's a ninja RPG. So most of the characters are ninjas. I say most because there's a couple of ninja classes you can be for your characters, but there's also a samurai and some kind of Japanese wizard. But generally, it's a ninja game. It's a ninja RPG. And it's kind of sad that people don't really mention this game that much because it's actually a pretty good game. And what's even more strange is that there's actually an English translation of this game, and the reason why I think no one talks about it is because it's called Inindo. I mean, that's the kind of game that's no kid is going to buy on a whim. But it's actually a ninja RPG, and it has a US release, so if you want to search it down, I'm sure it's not so expensive because I've never heard anybody mention it before. But Inindo on the Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom if you're me, is pretty good. Pretty good ninja fantasy RPG, I guess. That's the best way I can explain it. But the cool thing about this is that the battles are kind of the opposite formula of something like Devil Survivor, in the sense that, like, instead of being on like a grid-based kind of attack sequence from the beginning and then you go into the first-person battling, you kind of start with a random encounters, and then you move into, when you do the battles, it's kind of grid-based, which is interesting. It's kind of the opposite of what you'd normally expect. So definitely check out Inindo if you have a chance. Alright, so we'll move on to the next generation, which will be the PlayStation 1. And I got one PlayStation 1 game here, and that would be Silent Hill. And, you know, I own Silent Hill. It's just in the US, so I figure, why not play it again in Japanese? Because, why not? Silent Hill is good. Silent Hill is good in any language. So, Silent Hill 1 especially, a great game. And I have a good story related to my first time playing Silent Hill. I played Silent Hill the first time in New Hampshire in the US, and I went there to visit a friend who had moved there with his girlfriend. And we went up to his house, and we rented Silent Hill, and we spent pretty much an entire day playing Silent Hill with me and 2 other guys. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of interesting stuff happen, but the reason that story is fun to me, because, like, you know, Silent Hill has those weird, like, goofy endings with the UFOs. The guy who I went to visit in New Hampshire, his girlfriend freaked out and joined this, like, crystal healing UFO cult and got ultra crazy. I mean, beyond UFO cult crazy. And we actually had to go back up there and had secretly move him out of the house while she was at work. So it's totally connected to Silent Hill for me. So what can I say? Silent Hill for the PlayStation 1, you know it's good. If you don't have it, what are you thinking? Buy it. Good game. So, back with the next generation. And the next generation here, we've got 3 games split between 2 systems. So first, we'll start with the PlayStation 2. And on the PlayStation 2, the first game I got here is Maximo. And this is actually the second Maximo, I believe. Maximo... not sure what the English name is. In Japanese, it's Machine Monster no Yado, which is, I guess, Ambition of the Machine Monsters. So that's not the English name, I'm positive. I think it's something Army of Zin, possibly, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. But I don't think I've ever played this one, actually. I remember playing the first Maximo and being somewhat underwhelmed by it, but generally thinking it was okay. So it's possible that the sequel is better or horribly worse. But I can't pass it up as it's a kind of Makaimura related game or Ghouls and Ghosts related game. So figure I'll play through it anyway. And if it's bad or mediocre as the first one, then so be it. And the next game on the PlayStation 2, get another one I've never heard many people talk about. And again, this actually does have an English translation, so again, check it out if you get a chance. But this game is Samurai Western. And Samurai Western is actually made by the same people who make the Way of the Samurai games and Shinobi Do, which is Way of the Shinobi. I don't know what it is in English. No idea. Shinobi Do and Samurai Do make this this game also, Samurai Western, and it's kind of a spin-off from Samurai Way of the Samurai, and of course it's got cowboys and stuff. So it's kind of an interesting spin-off of the Way of the Samurai series. So if you like the Way of the Samurai series, you'll like this because it's it's pretty much the same as those, but in the Old West. So definitely a good game to check out, and also there is an English version. I'm sure it's cheap because I've never heard anybody mention it. So definitely check out Samurai Western, not Way of the Samurai. Well, Way of the Samurai also, but Samurai Western. And the other game in this generation, we've got Jade Empire on the original Xbox. And I've never beaten this game. Not that I didn't want to beat it, I just didn't have an Xbox when I lived in the US. And I've only played it at a friend's house, so I can't actually finish an RPG at a friend's house. But I did play a bunch of hours of it, just hanging out there. So I'm excited to get through this game finally, now that I have my own copy. And I actually ran across this in a shop for about $2, which I thought was... And it was weird because it was in a shop that doesn't normally sell used games. So I went in there and they had this weird little section that I'd never seen before at the bottom of a rack that had one little box with some used games in it, and this just happened to be one of them. So I grabbed it and it was $2. So can't really complain about that because it's a great game. So Jade Empire on the Xbox. If you haven't checked out Jade Empire on the Xbox, I mean, it's made by BioWare. It's BioWare RPG, and it's like kind of Chinese mythology based. So it's, you know, got lots of cool Chinese stuff and kung fu action. So you have to play Jade Empire if you haven't played Jade Empire before. So yeah, definitely search this out if you haven't seen it. Okay, so that brings us to current gen. And I'll start with the portables because I got more stuff on portables than I got on consoles, which is only one thing on the console. But I got 3 portable games. And I'll start on the DS. I got one game for the DS, and I mentioned it. I got it because I mentioned it recently on the podcast as a game that's people should play. And I've played this at my my ex's house on her DS. So I used to stay over there a bit, and while she was doing other stuff, I'd play this. And that game is Inazuma 11. And Inazuma 11 is a soccer RPG, and that's, you know, this game actually does have an English version also, but only of this one, not the 2 or 3, or I don't think any others, and it might be only a European-only release, but Inazuma 11 is a great RPG. It's fun, and it's kind of fresh, and there's a lot of characters to build a team. Over 100, I think, different characters you can use to build your kind of optimal team for the battles, which are the soccer matches. So the battles in this RPG are actually soccer matches, which is kind of cool. And it's, you know, it's a lot of fun to play. If you like soccer, and I don't even really like soccer. I'm not like a huge soccer fan or anything, but it's still a fun RPG. So if you actually like soccer, it's probably a really fun RPG. But I had fun with it, and again, this is another one I haven't beaten because, you know, I've only been playing it at other people's houses. But eventually I'll get back into playing this, though I don't have my save. I'll have to start from the beginning. But yeah, Inazuma 11. And I got 2 games on the PSP. So one of them I did an unboxing for, and that is Persona 2 Batsu. And Persona 2, of course, is spectacular. I want to say Persona 2, Tsumi and Batsu, the first and the second, are probably, story-wise, probably my favorite Personas. Character-wise as well, I like that in these Personas, the characters are older. They're not, especially in this one, they're not students, except for Tatsuya, who's the main character from the first game. Everybody else is an adult. They all have jobs. they go out and do things. They have like an actual past and history. It's pretty great. I hope Persona 5, when it eventually comes out, is not school-based. Not to say that I don't like Persona 3 and 4 because I love those games, but I you know, it's easier for me to relate to something that's not school-based since I've been out of school for, you know, 15 years or so. But yeah, so Persona 2 Batsu. Also, there's a soundtrack. It's probably playing in the background right now, and yeah, great game. I've already finished it actually. I played through it. It didn't take as long as the first half. It took me about 50 hours or something, but I didn't grind as much as I usually do. So I was only level 80 or so by the end, when I'm usually like in the 90s. So, you know, take that for what it's worth. So the second PSP game is this right here. This is Monster Hunter Diary, Poka Poka Ailu Mura, which is really, this is a Monster Hunter spin-off game, and it's goofy and it's cartoony and it's not related to playing Monster Hunter at all. It plays nothing like Monster Hunter. There's very little monster hunting that goes on in this. This is kind of like a city building game. Not city building, but so much as a town maintenance and upgrading and bringing people to live in your town type of game. Maybe like Animal Crossing? Similar to Animal Crossing, I guess, but, you know, without the kind of things that you can do in Animal Crossing There is like mostly you're doing things like collecting things by farming or fishing or helping people with their problems, and sometimes you go out and hunt monsters and mushrooms and things for other people. But it's it's pretty simple, but it's simple and fun. And I found myself enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would. Like, I got it because it was so cheap. Like, I bought it with change in my pocket. Like, I saw it and I thought I could buy that with the amount of change I have in my pocket. Done. So I picked it up and I thought, oh, I'll play it for like an hour and that'll be it. That'll be totally worth the money I paid for it. And I put it in and I found myself, like, after about 2 hours, like, hey, I kind of like this game. I don't know why. But it's actually made by From Software, and that is actually, the developers of Demon Souls and Dark Souls. So, the developer is good, and the game is fun. So I find myself enjoying it. I don't know how long I'm going to play it for, but I have been playing it for a while now. So I can actually recommend this. I would actually recommend this, though there's no English version, of course. So the final game is my one console game I got, the current gen console game I got this generation. And I haven't unwrapped it, but I didn't unwrap it for a particular purpose. And that game is Binary Domain on the Xbox 360. And I haven't played it yet, I haven't unwrapped it, and the reason I didn't unwrap it is because I wanted to leave this on there, which is the price tag. And the price tag for this game is 7,280 yen. So that's a standard price for a kind of new game in Japan. That is nearly $100. Now, don't freak out. I didn't pay $100 for Binary Domain. It was on sale for almost 80% off, about 75% off. So I paid about, I don't know, 2,000 yen for this, which is reasonable, which is probably what Binary Domain is selling for pretty much everywhere else. So I picked it up, and I'm looking forward to getting into this. I love the development team, the Yakuza team, and in multiplayer I can play as the guy from Yakuza. So bonus. But yeah, Binary Domain on the Xbox 360. Everybody I know who's played it has said it's spectacular. So I'm expecting it to be spectacular. Okay, so that was it for my current generation games. But I actually have 2 other games that I bought, not for consoles. This is totally unlike me because I haven't played PC games in, I don't know, since I moved to Japan, really. But before I moved to Japan, I used to play games on my PC, but of course, once I moved here, there's not much of a PC gaming scene. But now, I found a game that I really wanted to play because it's kind of a throwback to the kind of old RPGs that I love on the PC. And that game is Legend of Grimrock. And I'm going to put something up over here. So Legend of Grimrock, there should be a little image here. Legend of Grimrock on the PC. And this game is spectacular. It reminds me so much of I have the Beholder games on the PC. The first one and the second one are spectacular. The third one, mediocre. But it also reminds me of another Dungeons and Dragons game, the Ravenloft game, Strahd's something or other, Revenge or something, I don't remember. But it's a first-person action RPG. So you have usually 4 characters on the side, you click on them for their action, and you run around a dungeon solving puzzles and trying to get to the next floor. That's basically it. And that's basically it with Legend of Grimrock. And I spent a good amount of time playing it. I blew through the game. I couldn't stop playing it. Played through, I think I beat the whole thing in maybe 3 days. And that was like, I spent like Friday night and like an entire weekend just blowing through this game. And the puzzles are pretty good. Nothing really stumped me. But, I had to think about some stuff, so that was pretty good. So good stuff. Legend of Grimrock. I'd buy a sequel if it came out. I'd buy similar games if they came out. It's the game that brought me back to PC gaming after about 7 years of not playing any games on my PC. And because of that, I bought the game at, of course, if you're buying games online, you have to buy games at goodoldgames.com because, you know, DRM free. Pretty much, if you're going to buy downloadable content, Good Old Games is the way to go. I refuse to use anything that has any type of DRM with it in your games. So, you know, Origin, it's out. Steam, no, I refuse. I'm not using Steam. So, but Good Old Games has no DRM. Everything is yours when you buy it. You can download it. You can take that download and burn it to a disk and give it to your friend if you really want to. It's good stuff. You can't really go wrong with Good Old Games. Steam, I don't like. Origin, I don't like. Any other thing with some kind of DRM, be it soft DRM or hard DRM or whatever DRM you like, I refuse. But Good Old Games has none. So I bought Legend of Grimrock from Good Old Games, and I bought Neverwinter Nights, which I've played before, I've beaten before, but I've never played the expansion packs. Oh, that's not true. I never played the second expansion pack for Neverwinter Nights. So I picked up Neverwinter Nights, the complete thing from Good Old Games for, I believe, $10, which is a great price for a great RPG. Another BioWare RPG, actually, but it's a Dungeons & Dragons RPG made by BioWare for the PC, and it's old enough that pretty much any PC can run it. I'm running it on my laptop, and I was running it before on a 10-year-old Mac, so it'll work on anything. So another great game. That's Neverwinter Nights by BioWare. So that'll do it for this pickups. So hope you guys enjoyed it. It ran a bit longer than I expected it to, but yeah, that'll do it. So I'll catch you guys next time.